morning. Thank everybody for being here. I'm Councilman Mulvihill. For me, this has been a long day in the making. In fact, I know the mayor's already mentioned this several times to me this morning, and I mentioned to myself daily. It's been nearly 7 years from when we started till now, when it's finally completed. There are so many agencies and folks I want to thank, but first I'd just maybe take a moment to tell you how we got here. How we got here was, it was the summer of 2015. I wasn't Councilman Mulvihill then, I was candidate Mulvihill. I was walking in Audubon Park. In fact, I was walking on Oriole Drive, and I ran into a gentleman who's with us today, Brad Derrick, if you'd raise your hand. And Brad said, you know, he's a young father, has a young family, goes, man, I wish there was a way to get to Creason a little safer than going up Illinois Hill and maybe even get over to the Highlands. You know, we like to bike, we like to do things. And I said, okay, what do you have in mind? He said, well, maybe we could build a path down here, build a bridge, come across and end up at the light of Bellarmine Hill. And I thought, man, that's ingenious. We really got to think about trying to do this. So I immediately started thinking, well, we got MSD here next door. And I called, I think it was probably Brian Bingham, who I have known for many, many years. They're building a 6-story underground storage tank for sewer runoff. And I said, hey, guys, while you're doing that, can y'all build a path maybe along your property so we could connect it to the creek? And you know what? They did. Tony, thanks to you and your team. I really appreciate it. Willingly, no problem, they're in. So then I said, boy, I got to figure out some more folks. I'm going to get a hold of the Parks Department. And at that time, he's now out of government, but it was Marty Storch. I said, Marty, I need some help. I need you to figure out a way. We got to build a bridge. We got to have partners. Can you make some introductions to Bellarmine, to its neighbor? Marty did that. Marty left. Jason Canuel, he steps in. We keep moving the ball down the field. And so then I say to Bellarmine, Bellarmine, we need you. Can you help us? Thank you, Susan, to you and your team. At the time, it was Bob Zemlich. It went on to Daniel Frocht. And with that, they managed this project, and they brought John Flynn, who's back there, into my world. John, good to see you this morning. John and I probably talked at least monthly, but probably weekly for about 6.5 to 7 years. And I can't thank John enough for being here, not just for this project, but for me. John had perseverance, leadership, and calmness, something that I didn't always possess during this 7 years. When I felt dejected about it or demoralized that this wasn't going to happen, John said, keep pushing, Pat, keep pushing. We kept pushing. Then I said, Mayor Fisher, we got this great project. We're going to need some more money. You got to believe in this. He goes, oh, man, this is a great project. We're with you. So I really appreciate Mayor Fisher and Ellen Hessen, his deputy mayor. They also enlisted additional partners to make this a reality. So we sit here today with this reality. And finally, I do have to thank one more person, Ann Schultz, who's out there from the county attorney's office. She's the legal beagle. She made all this work between multiple entities. So I want to thank her as well. But it certainly took a lot longer than I thought it would. But anything worth having is worth the wait. And this is definitely worth the wait. And this will be here a lot longer than us standing here today. Hopefully it's going to be for generations to come. This really does connect neighborhoods. It makes it adventuresome for Brad and his family. They can go over the Highlands. You know, and if you're in Germantown or in U of L, you can come here and get here safely. I hope this grows and makes it safer to get to other neighborhoods. So I really can't say any more than that I'm so pleased. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Fisher, and thank you for making this a reality, Mayor. Thank you.
It is amazing, and you heard the story from Pat. There's a precursor to that as well. And Pat Mulvihill, when he worked for the county attorney's office, was really one of the lead people to make the merger of city and county government happen. So he's still a young man, as you can see. But that was some time ago, over 20 years ago. So Pat's got a storied part in our city's history going back to merger. And then he was my first general counsel for about 4 years or so when I took office. So what you're seeing here is kind of a reunion of a lot of people that have gone through city government over the years that work together to make this project happen, that understand that there's property rights and there's funding challenges, there's all kind of issues to pull together to make something like this happen. Daniel Frocht, who's now the CFO at Bellarmine for the last 18 months, was the CFO for the city and in different finance capacities for 15 or 16 years or so. So just a lot of people coming together to make this happen, which makes it even sweeter to me because this is going to be enjoyed by so many people, so many kids in their strollers and moms and dads and grandpas and grandmas. We're never going to see them when they come across here. But what I also like is the bridge is a beautiful piece of architecture. It could be done cheap and all that, but it's got a real nice touch of class to it too. And this kind of design is going to last for a real long time. So it's just an honor to be here to join in this project now that's 7 years in the making. You got to have persistence and you got to have patience. And boy, it's really paid off well here. Pat mentioned our partners, MSD, Bellarmine, U of L Health, Army Corps of Engineers, the Beargrass Creek Alliance, and Metro Parks. All said, we're going to get this done. And that's so much the key, is, whether it's the private sector or the public sector, is to say yes. Okay, it's easy to say no, it's too complicated, too many people, this, that, and the other thing. We don't want to hear that. Let's say, yes, it takes some time. We're going to work through it. We're going to have good legal guidance. Thank you to the county attorney's office. But we're going to get it done so we can stand here on a day like today. When you think about this watershed here in our community, it's extraordinarily important. Obviously, Louisville is here because of the water, the falls of the Ohio. But all the tributaries and all the creeks leading into the river, extraordinarily important. This is a 60 square mile watershed in our neighborhood that cuts all throughout our community. And it doesn't just shape our topography, but it also shapes how our city is developed and the neighborhoods around that as well. When you think about how Beargrass Creek has evolved, nearly 150 years ago, Beargrass Creek was really an open sewer. But fortunately, that has changed because of many community efforts over the years. And it continues to move forward with water and water quality. Just this year, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers announced a $121 million project to restore the watershed following the completion of a feasibility study. It's a fabulous announcement for our city, for sustainability, environmentalism, for our kids, so that they can see what a healthy environment looks like. And so not only will this restoration project benefit the health of our environment, but wildlife and humans alike. And I would like to note that sometimes I consider humans wildlife, but we're all connected and we are all nature as well. So I really look forward to that day when all this comes together and this bridge and this path will be looked back on fondly, and people will just say thanks to the people that make it happen. And those people are here today, none more so than Pat Mulvihill, who's a great public servant for our city. And Pat, I really appreciate your initiative and your drive and your tenacity. You're a good man. Pat Mulvihill. Let's hear it for Pat. Thanks, everybody.
What's up? Next, we have MSDR partner, and again, they were an early supporter, and I want to thank Tony Parrott and his team. And please come up and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Member Mulvihill. The one thing I will say about the council member, he is not shy in contacting us whenever there's something that is important to his community or his district. This pump station that you see beside us is a very large pump station where we invested well over $20 million to meet the needs and the requirement of this watershed and this community. As a part of that construction, we put a underground basin that holds about 7 million gallons of overflow that used to go directly into the Beargrass Creek untreated. And so it was a very important project that we were working on, and the council member was very connected with us during the construction of that project. As a part of our discussions with the council member, we felt it was a natural extension of the three core services that we provide. wastewater treatment, flood protection, and stormwater drainage are 3 utilities in one at MSD to help preserve the connections between the community and the waterways like Beargrass Creek and the Ohio River. Our Nightingale pump station is something that is sort of a state-of-the-art design, and we wanted to make sure, as a part of our giving back, that we, as part of our community benefits program, that we can make sure that we can not only be effective in terms of doing our job with the community, but also making sure that we are partnering with others to make sure that we can create amenities that the community and the neighborhoods can enjoy. The flow from this facility ultimately goes to our water quality treatment center, where it is thoroughly treated before it goes back into the Ohio River. Paving the road along this pump station to become a part of the Peace Path, I think, will help countless people enjoy access to the preserved creek. It is similar to the miles of recreational pathways that we have on the flood levees that protect the Ohio River from flooding our city. And it is another way that we try to add the quality of life while executing our primary mission of providing safe, clean waterways to the community of Louisville. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. And last but not least, another partner that came on board early, Bellarmine University. I do envision, I know there are Bellarmine, maybe students that live here, but certainly employees that will enjoy getting to work pretty quickly and without using gasoline, which with the cost of gasoline rising, they'll appreciate this path even more. So with that, I want to welcome President Donovan to make a few remarks.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Pat and Mayor Fisher and Tony. It's great to be partners with you. It's incredible to be here, and it will be used. I'm told it's already been used by one of our employees, but this will be a great space for our cross-country team and others to run and walk and bike, and I'm so incredibly proud. It sort of reminds me, I'm really moved by this experience, and I'm going to paraphrase Margaret Mead, who has a quote, let me not do too much damage to it, but never underestimate the power of a few people to make a difference in this world. And the persistence that has paid off in this project, as has been said before, is going to be incredible for this neighborhood, for the city, for Bellarmine University. I actually walked over here this morning, so we are that close. And to me, it's been important in the last 5 years to really put our mark on the city, to help be a good neighbor, to educate our students to be good citizens and to be engaged in the community. So I couldn't be prouder of the work that's been done and grateful to all of those of you who have participated. Thanks so much.
All right.